Hello and welcome to the Unwritten Life I am packing up my house edition. I started going through some of the books and I realized I wanted to take you guys along for that. So, the books in this box, and I'm struggling a bit with angles and lighting, and especially today because it's thunder outside, so the light comes and goes because it's not sure whether it wants to thunder, pour rain, or maybe show a little bit of blue sky. So, we got it all today. Luckily, I haven't seen lightning, but, you never know with thunder. Anyway, books. I have been a reader most of my life. Except the past couple of years, I've still been a reader, I just haven't read as much. And I've been keeping a bunch of books, so I'm going through and reminding myself I can't keep everything, which is really hard, but I feel like it's starting to get easier. And like this book, Mary Higgins Clark, I assume the English title is You Belong to Me. Very directly translated. Yep, You Belong to Me. I've read it in the past, don't remember it. I used to love reading crime novels. That's one of the genres I've been reading. I've read so much. I've read like all over the board, potentially, maybe. I'm not sure. I mean, there is a lot of different things. But yeah, I've read it. I don't remember it. And I don't think I'm gonna read it again, so it gets to go. Because, some books I keep because I just can't help it, but other books, I'm like, I don't know. This is a trilogy. And I Darken by Kirsten White. I don't think that's the series title. But I don't know. I think Now Our Eyes is the second book, and then Bright We Burn is the third. Or potentially yeah. So this is a trilogy. I have read it. It was okay. I mean, I don't know what I expected. I think I expected more grittiness maybe, but I read it. I remember parts of it because it's not that long ago since I read it, but it's already been a few years, But I don't think I'm going to read it again, so it gets to go. That's going to be the issue with a lot of books. Like the next two here. Marquis de Sade, Justine, and D.H. Lawrence with Lady Chatterley's Lover. They were talked about. I was curious. This one has a lot of slightly disturbing sex in my opinion. This is also a lot about sex. And I mean, they're classics. I read them. And now I don't feel the need to have them on my shelf because... And also, these are classics, so if I really want to read them again, I can easily go to the library and get them. And then I have a tricky one. Libromancer by Jim C. Hines. It's a first book in a series. I don't have any one of the rest of them. I think the series is called Magic Ex Libris. So, it's fantasy, it's magic. I remember it being fun. Challenges, I borrowed it from a friend at the time and I haven't seen her for years. So how do I give it back to her? And I feel bad if I try to toss it away because technically it doesn't belong to me. So I'm gonna keep it. Because I don't know where she is in the world anymore. And I think that's the only one that I've borrowed and not been able to return because I borrowed it the previous time I saw her and I haven't seen her after, which was 5 years ago. And then Simon Scarrow, this is historical fiction. I don't know the English title. The English title is Under the Eagle. I mean, it's the first book in a series. I read it. I remember enjoying it, but I never continued because I didn't have the rest, so yeah. It gets to go too. a lot of these books are getting to go. Eragon by Christopher Paolini. It's the first book of, I think the series ended up being 4 books. I didn't read the rest. It's fantasy, it's about the dragon. And it was fun at the time. Will I ever read it again? Sincerely doubt it. And if I were to want to read it again, that's a book they probably have at the library. Books I have not found at the library are these. Sarah B. Larson. It's a trilogy. Defy, Ignite, and Endure. And I remember parts of it. It's about a girl who her family gets killed, including like her mother and brother, and dad, I assume. And she, I don't know whether she wants revenge or she's just scared because she's a girl, but she ends up dressing like a boy and starts, and ends up in the army, dressed as a boy, and trying to hide who she is, and that is causing a lot of struggles for her. And now I think about it, I might want to keep this one. I remember it being fascinating, but I can't keep everything, but for now, I'm gonna keep it. And then we have more first books in the series. I have a lot of those. Children of Fire by Drew Karpyshin. That probably butchered that pronunciation of the name. The Chaos Barn, book 1. So it's fantasy. I believe it's a trilogy. I read it, I liked it. I tried to find the other books in the trilogy, I think, in the bookstore, but I couldn't find them and I couldn't get them at the moment, so I never ended up continuing. I remember liking it though. I mean, when I actually go to the bookstore and try to find the second book in the series, I must have liked it, but I don't remember any of it. So yeah, I don't see a point of keeping it. I feel a bit bad. I mean, I read it once, I really liked it, and now I'm just saying bye, you know? It's gonna be a lot of those. And then, Teen Angst Werewolf, Raised by Wolves by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. It's the first book in a series. Do you see a pattern here? It's about werewolves. I read it. I think I thought it was okay. I don't remember anything else about it. And I've never been that curious about werewolves, so, you know, I can't keep everything. It gets to go. The Vampire of Highgate, Asa Bailey. The Legend Has Risen. So, obviously, vampires. This might actually be a standalone. Apparently it's about a girl who lost her sister and she doesn't know where she is. She disappeared and there's a vampire, potentially, at least the legend, and I don't remember, so I doubt I'm gonna read it again. And then we have 2 books that I will keep, and they're Jane Austen novels, and they're like, sometimes, you know, when the library gets rid of books, they have book sales, but if you work there, you might actually get them for free. So that's what happened to these. This is Mansfield Park, and then you have Pride and Prejudice. I always struggle to say that word. But anyway, I like Jane Austen. I don't think I've read everything by Jane Austen, but I have read most of her novels at least. And these are 2 of those that I actually have, because I do not have everything. And this is Sammen skal vi holde himmelen. It's a book in Norwegian. It's a young adult. I loved this book. It's the first in a trilogy, and then the second book came, and I was like, oh, but this is not the same, because this is kind of like an epic love story between teenagers, and I loved it. But I don't know. Should I keep it? Should I not? I mean, I did love it, but the chance of me reading it again, especially when I also read book 2 and 3, I loved book 1, as I said. Book 2 was, it was okay, but it had a completely different feeling than book 1. And book 3 was it didn't feel like book 3. Yes, some of the same characters, but, the subjects, the themes, the writing, the feeling, everything was so different in book 3. The activist had been turned on, basically. So, didn't like that at all. But this one I loved. But will I read it again? I don't know. Should I keep it? Let me know down in the comment section, because I'm gonna need some input here. I always need some input. So, that gets to go there for the moment, so it's an unknown. And then the last book in this box is Håkanesser, Menneske uten hund. The author is either Norwegian or Swedish. Yeah, he's Swedish. So I'm guessing the English title could be something like Human Without a Dog. It's a crime novel. I don't remember anything of it. And when I'm reading the back, there's nothing that pops out, but oh, I remember that. It's nope, nothing. Absolutely nothing. But yeah, it's a crime novel. Do I think I'll read it again? I sincerely doubt it, so it gets to go too. Everything gets to go today. Not everything. I mean, some books have been kept, which is a good thing. Or bad. Depends on how you see it. And let's see, what do we got? Aldous Huxley, Brave New World. Or, this is the Norwegian edition, but it's a classic. I remember we read it for book club. I'm in a book club. I haven't been there for a bit. But Brave New World by Aldous Huxley, it was fascinating. It was not the most fascinating read. It was a little bit, not boring, but some of it took a little bit of time. But I really enjoyed the discussions we had, as far as I remember. So this is actually a keep. Not everything gets to be a keep. And then we have Amanda Makiel. Names are hard to pronounce. Tease. We didn't mean to hurt anyone, says the tagline in front here. And this, it's a young adult. It's about bullying. And it has so many teen books. If they're dealing with bullying, they're about the person being bullied and everything is horrible, and then that person gets some friends and gets some help and everything works out and you don't hear much about the bully. This is the story of a bully from the bully's perspective and the bully's realization of what was happening, and was she at fault, was she not, what is the result her fault? But what about the others? The ones that didn't do anything, and the others that joined in the bullying. And it raises, I think it raises a lot of good questions. So I really like it, and I can hear myself talking myself into keeping it and probably reading it again. Because I haven't read it in a while, and I've only read it once. So, keeping this one. It's a subject we hear a lot about, but not necessarily from this perspective. Or at least as far as I remember. I don't remember everything I read. Clearly. I'm proving that very much now. And as I said, I had started going through some of the books. Hold on. as I said, I started going through some of the books, and these are my I'm not sure of books. And some are of the same author. I read this one, Cody Keplinger, The Duff, The Designated Ugly Fat Friend. I loved it. And I've seen the movie, which is completely different from the book. They added a character and they changed so much to the movie. And don't get me wrong, the movie was entertaining, but the book, so much better. So much better. I love it. I love this one. So since I loved this book so much, I ended up buying several more of her books. The Duff I'm gonna keep because I just love it. And we all need to be reminded that we're all someone's Duff, but we're also someone's not Duff. I don't know how to explain it. Read the book and you'll see. But this one I'm gonna keep. The challenge is, what about her other books? Lying Out Loud, Run, Shut Out, and A Midsummer's Nightmare. I don't remember. I mean, I think these three ended up is at the same school or in the same like neighborhood or whatever. Hamilton High, and I'm not sure. Anyway, I don't remember these all that well, so I don't think, now that I talked to you guys about it, I don't think I'm gonna keep them. I loved them at the time, but you know, I can't keep everything. You gotta let something go. And then we have this one. It's different from the others. I think it's because of the characters. It's definitely because of the characters. I don't remember if this is also Hamilton High. I don't think so. But it's about two people that basically run away and do their own thing, and one of them is blind, so it has an added element of surprising things, at least for me. I don't think I've ever known anyone blind. So for me, that was very fascinating. But I still don't know if I'm gonna keep it. Let me know. Should I keep it and read it again? And remember, I can't keep everything. So should I keep it? Yes or no? Or you're gonna have to write down the title and all. And then others I'm not certain about. Sophie Kinsella, The Undomestic Goddess. I like Sophie Kinsella. She's fun, she's easy reads, and this is a very fascinating one. And I remember parts of it, and I might want to read it again. It's about a lawyer, a high-powered lawyer in London, and something happens. She thinks she's messed up big time, so she basically runs away and starts a new life and wonder if her old life of being a lawyer is going to come back and bite her in the butt. I remember it being very entertaining, to the point of I might want to read it again. So should I keep it? The Undomestic Goddess? I don't know. Let me know. You're gonna have to let me know on all the ones that I don't know, because, you know, I need help. I can't keep everything, but so far there's so many books that I've decided to not keep. So I'm going through boxes now, and I thought I decided to keep all of these books, but I mean, I already have stacks of books that I'm not keeping. This one, I don't know. For a few Christmases ago, I'm like, I'm gonna buy a bunch of Christmas romance books because it's the holiday season. This was one of them, Christmas on the Little Cornish Isle, The Driftwood Inn. I believe it's part of a series, but you can totally read it on like a standalone. It's basically a cute Christmas romance. Do I need to keep it? I don't know. Let me know in the comment section. Do I remember any of it? No, but it's been years since I read it, so, you know, there's that. And then a classic, Wuthering Heights. And poems, but I read Wuthering Heights. It's by Emily Bronte, and I read it for book club. And I think I enjoyed the discussion. I honestly don't remember. It's one of those like old little library books, so it's not like, yeah, it has like stickers on and it's not pretty, and yeah, it's a little worn out. And I don't remember if I like the story even. And it's a classic, you can easily get it at the library. But should I get rid of it or should I keep it? I don't know. Please chime in the comment section. And you're about to cut me off, so hold on. And we're back. That's so nice. Alright, we have more of the crime novels I used to read way back when. This is in Norwegian, translated from English, because the original title is The Legacy. I don't remember anything of it. I doubt I'll read it again. Oh, that was easy. Oh, this one is harder. Mr. Penumbra's 24-Hour Bookstore by Robin Sloan. I remember really being fascinated with this one. But I don't know what it's about. Or I should say I don't remember what it's about. It's a 24-hour bookstore. And things. Yeah. I don't know. Should I keep it? I mean, I remember being fascinated, but I have no idea. Let me know. Oh, this one I think I want to keep. The Near Witch by Victoria Schwab. Is the witch a witch, or is it just an old story? I really liked this book when I read it, so this I'm actually going to keep. And then, oh, it's another keeper, George Orwell, 1984. I read this twice, one of the times for book club. It's a very fascinating thing. And the first time I read it, it totally freaked me out because it was at a point in time where certain things were being discussed about legalities, about saving information about people here in Norway, and I was reading this book and it was heavily discussed in the media, like the right to privacy and all, and yeah, that I was kind of paranoid for a bit there. But it's a really good read. It's kind of, that's not true. It's kind of boring to read, but I find it interesting. So definitely keeping this. And the book club discussion, we touched on a lot of different subjects. That was, not everyone agreed about everything. That's for sure. And I mentioned the Christmas romance. This one, Christmas at Lilac Cottage. Curl Up by the Fire and Fall in Love by Holly Martin. I think, I don't know what the main character is doing. I think this is the one that like tries to do ice sculptures? Possibly. If it is, I'm gonna keep it. And I'm pretty sure that it is. But yeah, it's a Christmas romance. It's cute. I'm gonna keep it. Because we all need some cute in our lives. The next one here is not cute at all. Margaret Atwood, alias Grace. And I have not read this in, God, so many years. I don't remember much of it, but I remember being super fascinating. And Margaret Atwood is the same author that has written The Handmaid's Tale. Is that the title? I think so. Which is also very fascinating. And I'm do it simple. I mean, I'm keeping this one. Definitely keeping this one. Other books that I'm definitely keeping are these. Veronica Mars. Mr. Kiss and Tell and the $1,000 tan line. I don't remember which is the first. Kiss and Tell is the first one. And I love Veronica Mars. So, yeah. Will I read it again? I don't know. But I sincerely doubt I can get these at the library. I mean, libraries are great. And since I live in Norway, you can get pretty much all books published in Norwegian. Books published in English? They have them, but they don't have everyone. And some of them are not that easy to get at the library, so I'm just gonna keep these. That's for sure. And then more first books of a series, as I said. That's a common theme here. Born at Midnight. A Shadow Falls novel is the first book. It's about something. It's supernatural. I don't know. I mean, I finished a book, so I assume I enjoyed it at the time, but I don't remember anything about it. I don't know. They're fae, it's werewolves, and probably, shapeshifters, witches, vampires. It's all the thing in magic, but I don't remember anything about it, so it gets to go. Rachel Hawkins, Rebel Well, first book in, I believe, a trilogy. And it was something. It's a young adult. I don't remember. It's a wannabe prom queen or tiara or homecoming tiara. She's obviously not a tiara, but she wanted the homecoming tiara. A Southern Belle, and then she gets to meet someone who, something. You can tell I wasn't that impressed by it. Let's see. Yes, there are more books in here, but they belong to a series, and we'll see. Alright. Okay. I think I'm gonna do this one first because it was easier to get. Okay. Let's see. Ready Player One. Ernest Cline. I really enjoyed it. Will I read it again? I doubt it. I doubt it. And this is one I can easily get at the library. So I think I'm gonna get rid of that one. That was a little surprising. Okay. And then we have a whole trilogy. We're starting with Red Sister, and then Gray Sister, and Holy Sister. And these I'm gonna keep. It's about Nona Gray, I think. Yeah. You know I like the book when I remember the main character's name a few years after I read it. So, it's fantasy, it's got some magic in it, it's Nona Gray, the main character. She is a kick-ass girl, but she's also a girl, so she is young. There's a lot she don't know, and she's learning, and some of the learning she's doing is very much the hard way. And some of it is really hard for her to learn, but eventually she starts, not really, she keeps learning the hard way throughout all the trilogy, and I love it. She's so realistic, and her outbursts sometimes are just, they're not hilarious, but she has so human reactions. I mean, I feel like a lot of the people in certain books are like, their reactions to things are unnatural. Not supernatural, but just like, a lot of characters in books don't react how a normal human would react. And these are not necessarily normal humans in the same way I am, but Nona Gray, she has so many flaws, oh my god, but she is also natural and real in her reactions, and now I want to read it immediately. I loved this trilogy when I read it, so I ain't giving up on this one. That gets to stay for a long, long time, possibly forever. And then we gotta have some fun stuff. Libba Bray, Beauty Queens. If you read, I think, William Golding, Lord of the Flies, which I have, I didn't really like it. I found it boring. This is an ironic take on Lord of the Flies, and this is hilarious. It's amazing. It's great. I loved it. And I marked stuffing. I don't know what or why. Oh, I apparently wanted to convince myself of 2 good quotes in here. Why do girls always feel like they have to apologize for giving an opinion or taking up space in the world? And that is such a good point. And the other one, apparently characters talking here, and one says to the other, I love you for who you are, not for who the world thinks you should be. So basically, be yourself, have opinions, and you can be a beauty queen and kick ass on the deserted island that is not really all that deserted. I love this book. I'm gonna keep it. Oh, another book I loved, Station 11. It's after apocalypse kind of story, dystopian, but it's a very fascinating one. We actually read this one for book club too, based on my recommendation, and one of the girls found it to be super boring. And I was like, oh, but it's so beautiful. So yeah, I'm keeping this one. Oh no, I'm gonna talk myself into keeping a lot again, aren't I? Because this is a trilogy I'm gonna keep. It's by Catherine Arden. It's The Bear and the Nightingale, and I don't know which one is second and third, but these are the second and third. The Girl in the Tower and The Winter of the Witch. And these are beautiful, beautiful books. And or beautiful stories would probably be more correct. And they're magical, but it's also like a fairy tale, a very dark fairy tale at that times. But yeah, it had this magical quality about it, and I loved it. So I'm keeping this. Ugh, they're falling. Okay. Oh, this one! Fanget i fortiden! This is an old book. This is from 1989. I sincerely doubt it's been translated into English. It's very thin. This is, when I was a teen, young adult books were not a thing. We had like this much. Probably like 25 young adult books that existed in the little library that I belonged to. This was one of them. Don't remember any of the others, but I know it wasn't a lot, and that's how I ended up reading a ton of crime novels. But this one, it has a little bit of supernatural, there's a little bit of drama and intrigues, and just super fascinating. I read this like 5 or 6 times when I was a teen. And then I was working at the library, and I saw this in the pile that was gonna be tossed out, and I was like, I'm gonna have that one. And then as an adult, I read it again, and I still found it super fascinating. And a little at the end, there is a scene by the end that still kind of freaked me out a little, and I loved it. So there's no way in hell I'm giving this one up, that's for sure. And, ooh, this one. Super fascinating. Z for Zachariah Robert O'Brien. And I don't know when it's from. Hold on. Yes. First published in 1975, so this is an old one. It's about a girl, it's after disasters, a dystopian, and it's been a nuclear holocaust, and this one girl survived in her little valley, and she is surviving there, and she's kind of lonely. She's all alone. She's got a couple of animals, and that's it. And then, one day, this man comes. And like, as the tagline says here, will the last man on earth help her or kill her? You know, repopulating the earth might not be an option because it's a nuclear wasteland outside her tiny little valley. It was super fascinating. I loved it, and I'm totally keeping it. Standalone fantasy, I think. Ultra Bones, Philip Carter. I think it's fantasy, but at the same time, I don't. I think it's a crime novel. I don't remember. I've read it. I liked it. But I don't remember anything of it. But I'm really curious, and I really like the cover. It's a pretty cover. It's a pretty color. Oh wait, it says in the back here, conspiracy thriller. So it's a thriller. I kind of want to read it again, but also limited amount of time. I don't know, should I keep it? I think I'm fascinated by it. Let me know, should I keep it? Yes or no? And to all the yes or no's that I'm asking, you have to write the titles, because if you just write yes, 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 or no, 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 I won't know which books you're talking about. The 9 Lives of Chloe King. I watched the TV show, and I was so sad when it was discontinued, because it kind of stopped on like going up, and it's like, oh, we're gonna stop now. I was like, but we don't have all the answers. And then I found this book in a used store, and I was like, oh, that's the TV show. I can read this. And it was not, I don't remember, but I really, really enjoyed it. And it was obviously different from the TV show. All books that are being made into either TV shows or movies and all that, they're different from the books. Some stay true to the books, and some just use some of the characters and pretend they're in the book worse. I don't know. But yeah, I might want to keep this, but it's a big one. I don't know. Do I keep it? I really enjoyed it, and it's such an entertaining and easy read. So I might want to keep it, but it's big. So I can't keep everything. I don't know. Should I keep it? Let me know. And also, have you seen the TV show? And if you did you like it? That makes me curious. Okay, the rest of the books in here are parts of series, and I know I have the whole series. And I'm making... Okay. I need to clean up a little. We're doing the rest of the boxes in another video, because I have someone coming as a meeting, so I need to deal with that. But we'll continue with the books in the next video, or the one after. Anyway, we will continue with the books, and I will tell you all about it, and I have some questions for you here. Should I keep them? Should I not? Let me know down in the comment section. And thank you so much for watching. Do you enjoy reading? Have you read any of these books? What do you think of books in general? Thank you so much for watching, and I'm realizing I have to go, and I'll see you in the next video. So bye!